On this episode of System Integrators Weekly, we're stopping by Alexander PCs, then we're taking a good long look at CLX and taking a tour through their configurator. All that and more on this episode of System Integrators Weekly.
Let's go, nerds!
Hello everyone, I am Brea Thorne. Welcome to System Integrators Weekly, where we are very tired. The tiredness comes from another huge event, and if you checked out the video from last Thursday, you'll see what it was. It was DreamHack Dallas 2022, and I know GCX is going on right now. Wish I could have made it to that too, but good lord, I would probably perish if I tried to make two major trips within the span of 2 weeks. So I'm back. We're back in production, and we do have a review video coming out this week, and that is going to be for the ever popular Alexander PCs Centurion. We're going to take a quick peek at that here and a couple other things at Alexander PCs in this episode. Then we're taking a tour through CLX because I got to meet them at DreamHack, and to be honest, I was impressed with the people pretty much everyone I spoke to at CLX. So we owe them a look. Now it does look different than it did before. I did take a peek at it earlier, so it's not a pure reaction kind of thing. I try not to go into these completely blind, but yeah, lots of interesting stuff there. I do have one important thing I want to talk about. So what I have right now is basically an open letter to PC Building Simulator Part 2. And in this letter, I have two messages for you. The first message is I want to say thank you. Part 2 of the open letter. For you. You're not going to want to miss this, but first, I got to pay the bills, so I do have to let you know that this episode, of course, is sponsored by CDKdeals. CDKdeals is an online marketplace that offers game keys for several different platforms and genuine software licenses at drastically reduced prices. You can even use code BRAE25 to get an additional 30% off. Here's how it works. Here we have an OEM license for Windows 10 Pro. Of course, all Windows 10 Home and Pro keys can be later upgraded to Windows 11 at no charge. Keep in mind that you'll need a new key if you build a new system or make major hardware changes. OEM keys cannot be used to upgrade from Windows 10 Home to Pro, so make sure you know which version you have installed. Here in the cart, you can use code BRAE25 to get an additional 30% off. So an OEM copy of Windows 10 Pro will drop from $22.72 to just $15.90. After your purchase is complete, click View Keys/Codes, click Get the Key, and copy it. Then go to your Windows search bar, type out Activate, and click Activation Settings. My Windows install is already activated, so I'll be replacing it, but yours should just say Activate Windows. Paste in the key, click Activate, and you're done. Thank you, CDKdeals, for continuing to support the channel. So before we get into the actual PC stuff, this video is being filmed for June 12th, 2022. Any pricing you see and availability that you see can change very quickly. You know, that's the nature of it. And for those of you who are wanting to do DIY builds, I can definitely help you with that, with putting together a PC part picker list, stuff like that, or whatever you want on the stream, so come by there. Same thing for finding if this stuff is too much info for you all at once, come by the stream and we'll talk about it and you can get in the queue. It's a good time. Okay, the second one here is that I'm gonna be throwing around some opinions here. Just be careful, but if you did seat yourself in the splash zone, just understand that you may have opinions coming your way. If you're buying anything, you're buying it at your own risk, and this is not financial advice. I'm not saying you need to buy the thing I say is good, okay? I am providing information and coloring it with opinions, though they've been formed after many years in the industry as an enthusiast and then an IT professional for a long time, and PC builder. So, you make your own decisions. That is what I encourage. If you see something you like, you feel confident about the purchase, good. And if you want some verification, come by the stream, get in the queue. I help you out one-on-one. It's a lot of fun. That's going to do it for that. Now, what we're talking about first, we're going to talk about Alexander PCs. And I'd actually talked to TJ, who's the owner of Alexander PCs, about doing the Centurion review as the Sunday video this week. However, I still have a little bit more to film for that. And the other thing is, I've realized that deviating too much from the standard Sunday fare of System Integrators Weekly is not the best idea for my channel's performance in the algorithm. If I've been deviating from what works, and it's a risk I took, but I'm realizing it probably isn't the best one yet. So any other content that's going to be related to trips I take, interviews I do, is going to be in addition to System Integrators Weekly rather than replacing it on a specific week. That review for the Alexander PC's Centurion, which we're about to take a look at for those who haven't seen it, that will be coming out this week. Most likely, we're going to be getting all that together, editing it up nice and pretty, just to make sure that you get the most out of it. There will be pros, there will be cons, we will be unbiased. None of these videos are ever sponsored by a system integrator. Now, I do have coupon codes for some of these companies, and that's just something that they offer to my community as part of me trying to bypass any coupon weirdness that I've run into a lot with several companies. When I make a video, it stays on YouTube and it's viewed after the fact, so when I give a coupon code that's gone in a week, that loses its relevancy really fast. So there's a new thing. In the Discord, which you can find linked below, which is genuinely a good Discord. You can actually go to the Tech Questions channel, ask tech questions. We have volunteers, with the badge of Techie there, and you can go into Tech Questions, put in @Techie, and then put your question there. Read the pinned comments before you do that. That's part of the rules, just so you know exactly how to frame your question to provide the most information possible to get the most accurate answer possible. We've run into some issues with that recently. Just people ignoring the rules that they agreed to when they joined the Discord. It's just read the pinned comments. It tells you everything you need to know in that Tech Questions channel. But in addition to that, under the tech stuff grouping of channels, you'll find something other than the deals one. You'll find something called coupon codes. Now, a company can change their coupon code, change what it does, things like that, which we haven't listed what they do, but we have listed what the codes are. They can change those things, and then we can adapt it there. And all I got to tell you here is go over to the Discord, check the coupon codes channel, and you will find ways to save money on the PCs that you want. And speaking of support, when you use them, many of the companies do support the channel when you purchase a PC. It's a way for you to support the channel, get a rad PC, save some money. Everybody's happy. I think it's the best thing. Now, looking at Alexander PCs here, I do want to point out, because this one, I'm surprised no one has snatched this up yet, but they have an in-house artist who does some of the most awesome art. Anyway, everything here is optimized. Everything. And it's ready to ship. And there's only one of them. Yes, the price is high, but it is one of one. That's how that usually goes, and it is hand painted and sealed and everything. It's gonna last a long time when it comes to the art. So, plus lifetime warranty. But that's Alexander PCs. They put a lifetime warranty on every system they sell. From the Hoplite at around $1,300, that gets a lifetime warranty, all the way up to the Queen Anne's Folly right here, which is $6,488. Both of them get a lifetime warranty. Doesn't matter what you get from them. And also, that would include all of their systems that are ready to ship, which we'll take a look at, and the Alexander PC's Centurion. So, they have 5 systems here ready to ship, and some of them are Intel, some of them are going to be AMD. There are specifics to this that you should pay attention to, like this 12600K with a 3070 Ti for $2,788. It is a DDR5 system. It doesn't say that here, but it is a DDR5 system. Whereas the Centurion is 12th gen Intel, but it is DDR4, which brings the price down considerably. DDR5 is still not super affordable. This one here, 3070 and 11600K. If you have to get an 11th gen processor, the 11600K is a gem. Yeah, that was the one, that was a diamond in the rough, that was 11th gen. And if you want small form factor, right here, the Lian Li Q58, which is such a good case, Mini ITX, 5600X, and a 3070 Ti. This is focused on gaming. It has a full-sized, for the Win 3 Ultra Gaming 3070 Ti in it, and it's right up against the airflow ventilation, so it's going to get great temperatures, and it's a beautiful case too. So let's take a look at the system that the review is going to be coming out for, and that is the Centurion right here, which is a 12600K, and when you're purchasing it, you can choose either a 3060 Ti or a 3070 of various models. Look at the drop down right here. You have 6 different models of cards to choose from. There isn't a ton of customization here, but what is there really matters. Everything else is optimized. No one else does this, by the way. No one else will go in here and explain to you the methodology for how they chose every part, why they chose the part, what it will do for you, and just the enthusiasm comes through the text. I know these people. They're so enthusiastic about what they do. Just keep your eyes open for that Alexander PC's review coming out later this week. So, a little bit of history. I had looked at CLX a while back, And there were some, I was interested because I would see all these Instagram ads, and I was like, well, I mean, people ask me about computers all the time. I should check out CLX. This was really early on. And I did, and I had a couple of issues with the configurator. And this is not an issue that is unique to CLX. It's an issue that you'll find in a lot of system integrators' configs that bothers me. So here's the thing about it. I met a lot of people from CLX over at DreamHack because they're a big part of DreamHack. They actually provided the PCs for a lot of stuff that was going on there, including the PCs for Intel Extreme Masters, which is a huge deal and a massive tournament. And if you want a little more info on that, check out the video from last Thursday, which, by the way, that one was probably the one that was the least focused on actual DreamHack stuff. There is some cool stuff in there from it, great footage, stuff like that. But also travel vlog stuff, which, by the way, a lot of people told me they wanted me to start doing travel vlogs whenever I go to these. And then not many people watched it. So what gives? Go watch the video. It's right here. So for those of you who are content creators out there, get out to these events. So because CLX is such a huge part of this, I got to meet George from CLX. And basically they're from the start, founding this whole thing. So he's also the marketing manager, and he's in product development. We had a great interview, and I really want you guys to check that out when it comes out. That should be part of day 3, or I might even pull it out and make it a separate video. You got to check it out. He is so passionate about PCs and the way that CLX approaches them, for everything from their practical methods for building to their themes, which is like this Egyptian theme, which is super cool. Definitely check that out when it comes out. But I was very impressed with everybody I spoke to. And, we had Jonathan in the first video talking about what they were doing there and sort of giving an idea of some of the systems that they have and some of the reasoning behind their builds. Just great stuff. I want to say thank you to Jonathan and George both for being willing to get in front of the camera. Thank you. Not everyone's really comfortable with that. Once I got to meet the people at CLX, I got to really get a read on them and what their intentions are. And I got to say, whatever flaws we might find in their site or in their builds or in their pricing, I appreciate where they're coming from. I really do. I mean, George has been in the industry all the way from pre-Dell Alienware to pre-Corsair Origin, then to Cybertron and CLX here. So looking here, we have the kind of design where you have the big splash screen where you can kind of go through the dots, and looking through the dots, you'll have the messages that they intend to convey immediately, right? June deals, up to $850 in savings. Cool. They're telling you that right off the bat. And here we have something about, DreamHack Dallas. It's a big deal for CLX. They do tell you that there is 0% APR financing, meaning zero interest financing, where if you don't have all the cash up front to buy a PC, they have something in place to help you out with that. This right here is something I do like to see. I like to see something where it's like, hey, look at these 5 options you have and then customize from there. Starting at $749. So keep in mind, you're gonna see here up to Intel Core i9 12900K, 5950X, up to 3090, and then it's gonna say starting at $749. Understand that you are very far away from these parts at that price. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to do, just so I can show you the functionality of the configurator, we are going to try to do a budget build, a mid-tier build, and a high-end build, and it's gonna take a little longer because I haven't done them ahead of time, except for part of the high-end build as I was exploring. This is us exploring the configurator and you kind of learning how it works. So we're gonna try to do a set, which is the entry-level system, and then we'll try to do maybe a Horus, and then a raw system, which I've already started on doing. So let's start with a set. We'll customize this. Starting at $749, that's a great entry point. Let's see what it comes with, okay? It comes with the set spear micro tower in black. Let's look at info. And it does have dual intake on the front. And if you're getting a system here that's gonna have, let's see, Ryzen 5600G, you can actually go down to a Ryzen 5 3600. I would actually do that for starters. So if we go with, say, a 3050 right there, no, not compare, I keep doing that. It actually brings it up to $1,000. So not ideal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do my favorite combo right now for a budget system. We're gonna go 12th gen Intel, i3 or i5, and we're gonna go from there with a B660 motherboard. There we go. that says yes right here. This is one of the good things about their configurator, and several other ones do this too, by the way, where it'll tell you, hey, there's a compatibility issue. You can't get it like this. And there's the B660M. There you go. These are all going to be micro ATX, and you can choose your flavor. You can go from the more baseline ones, take step up, step up, step up, and then the highest end one, which is the Asus Tough Gaming one. That's the highest end one they offer. Maybe we'll go with the Asus Prime instead. All right, let's do that. Move on to the graphics card, which we went in ahead and chose the 3050. That's why the price is where it is. The 3050 for 1080p gaming is very good. To be clear, the resolution you choose on your monitor is actually something I was talking to George about from CLX. The resolution you choose for your monitor makes a huge difference as to how much graphics processing you need. If you're going 1080p, you don't need a lot. And the 3050 is very good at it. And looking at memory, it's going to come with 16 gigs of DDR4 3200. One thing that everybody who really digs into RAM looks for when looking up further information, other than the frequency, is timings. That's actually not listed here anywhere. Then you go to power supply. This power supply is a 550 watt Gamdias Kratos M1. Most of these are going to be on your lower end of power supplies because they're not modular, as it says right here, non-modular. And then if you go to the modular ones, you have a lot more options. Everything I'm showing you here pretty much works for the mid-tier and the high-end systems. There you go. So I'll kind of show you what I was doing with the high-end system, but basically if you want a mid-tier system, I think this video is already long enough. I think we'll skip doing that now. So your options there are to just customize it based on some of the things here, or come to the stream if you want a mid-tier system from CLX, and I'll help configure it for you. And then, so here you can do a modular one. You don't need anything beyond 650 watts for this build. Next would be your cables. Now I want to talk about this because I freaked out when I first saw this, because cable extensions are cheap. They're not expensive, and you can get pretty good ones. So when you see a price of $126, understand that these are not extensions, as far as I can tell. Okay? Whenever you see something that doesn't make sense price-wise, it's probably because you have the wrong idea. These are full sleeved cable sets from Cable Mod, but there's no, doesn't look like there's any coupling here. Like it connects directly from the power supply to the part. No coupler there to make it an extension and make it look nice on the front side. These do have to have the exact specific pinouts for each power supply that they have in stock, so you better believe they're working with Cable Mod pretty closely on this. Operating system drive is going to have, I guessed correctly, a 500 gig M.2 drive. A message to CLX, if you're watching this, and if you haven't fallen asleep, sorry, I talk a lot, as you know, from having talked to me. There are times where I have to make a very clear decision, and my choice will always be to side with the consumer. So when I say something like, this looks like it's probably about 20% above MSRP if you just buy it somewhere else, because you're taking away a 500 gig, adding in a 1 terabyte, you lose the value of this, and that has to be in addition to the $62. So you're paying probably about 110 bucks for that. When I say that, I understand that you have to mark up your hardware, and that hardware markups suck. There's no margins. There's very little margin when it comes to hardware, unless your pricing is just ridiculous. So when I say that maybe it's like 10, 15, 20% more than retail, I get that that is part of getting something from a system integrator. And viewers, I'd like you to know that too. When you're gonna have someone else build your PC for you, understand that there are additional costs to that. It's not like you buying all the parts and building it yourself. Upside is you get a warranty. You build it yourself, you have parts warranties, but the labor, it's all on you, unless you can find someone you trust. Go ahead, take the 512 gig, M.2 drive that is provided, purchase your own memory for upgrading, your own storage rather, and storage is one of the easiest upgrades that you can do. So you can go with the standard fan, a cooling fan and heatsink that comes with it, which for $12,400, it should be okay, as long as the case has adequate airflow, or you can go with an all-in-one liquid cooler. Now, one thing I'd like to see here that you really don't see very often is the option to not activate your Windows installation, because of course I'm interested in that. My sponsor is CDKdeals, and they sell these codes like this for like 15 bucks. Now, one thing I don't know is what it looks like to do a coupon code here, because here's the deal. If they're happy with the video and they want to work with us and offer our community a discount, I'm not going to put it in the comments because that's going to stay there. And if they change the deal later on, I have to remember to come back to this particular episode and cut that out or whatever. So now we have it on that coupon code channel in the Discord. So if you want to save yourself some money, join the Discord for free. Go to that channel, check it out. I guess you can leave right after if you want, but once you see what's going on in the rigs channel where people are showing off their rigs, like if you're curious about the Centurion I was talking about and I'm going to be reviewing, go to rigs. It is one of the most popular systems in the entire swarm. People love it. All right, here we go. See the CLX Raw gaming PC. This one, I mean, that's the thing. If you're going to be doing something like getting a higher end components, depending on the company and the prices they get and stuff like that, the margins that they put to things, prices are going to be different. They got to keep the doors open. They got to pay the bills. You do pay extra going with a system integrator. That wasn't the case when cards were being scalped, but now that they're mostly back to MSRP, you do generally end up spending a little extra. I think that there's a lot of promise here. However, when you first get into something like the Raw, which is kind of their flagship, basically, when I see something like that, and then I see that the default, because it has to have a price saying starting at $17.89. When I see that something like the default storage drive or the memory is the cheapest one you have on your most expensive system, cheapest memory is the default, let people choose that as an option, not as the default. People will skip past this and have poor performance on your flagship PC. You know what I'm saying? That's my perspective on that. Storage, you go here, and again, it's the minimal option. To say that, hey, look, we're going to have this thing where you can click on the 4 main systems we have and on the laptop thing, and then to not do anything with your components for the customer from the start, I get the need to show a lower starting price. And it literally does start at that price if you have the option to go down to these components. I understand the logic behind there, but not the dedication to the intentions, which is to say, we have 4 categories of PCs, start with one of them, and we're going to get you on your merry way to getting your awesome gaming PC. This doesn't do that. This is like, hey, the base price is higher, most of the components are the same though. That's what made me pause. I was like, why are they starting off the CLX Raw gaming PC? Why are they starting off with minimal components? How did the price go up if it's mostly the base options? There's other elements there. But I'd say that starting them off, it's okay if your price to get for entry for your most expensive system overall is a little higher than what it shows here. To just give a good default build. Not that you don't want to sell these things, but that's more for systems under the $1,000 mark, something like this. Basically, my suggestion is this. Take those names, the themes, even if the price comes up a little bit, because you've changed some options to more optimal things. I think it's better to do if you're going to have a categorical kind of configurator like that. Anyway, I think it's going to do it for now. I've done enough. Yeah, stay tuned because we are going to be working with CLX on some stuff, hopefully, if I didn't annoy the hell out of them with this video. And stay tuned to my Twitter, which is @Braithorn, and or the pinned comment here, because there won't be one yet until I get word back from George as to whether they're able to do something like if I go over the coverage with them and tell them sort of my angle and everything, and they're still happy to work with us and the community. I do think that I was probably sleeping on CLX and I shouldn't have been doing that. It was stuff like this that put me off though, to be fair. So this actually came up and it sort of pushed me away a bit. So I would say adjust those things according to the different categories. For the base level one, it should all be base level. It should be base level parts. It's even understandable it doesn't have a dedicated GPU if you have an APU. But for those looking for a budget system, the 12400 or even the 12100 are great options. And what I would recommend, because it is newer tech, it's going to accommodate the newer technology, like, and eventually AMD is going to come out with their chips that support DDR5 only. So they won't be positioned like, you know what, I'm going to stop right there. I'm just going to keep going for 3 hours and I am dead tired. So let's call it an episode. Check out the new merch at teamexcluded.com/Braithorn. Also, you know what? Take off the Braithorn part. go check out teamexcluded.com. Check out our content creators tab. Click on their Twitch links. These are great people. Check out Team Excluded. Check out CLX. And for sure, as I mentioned earlier, check out the review video coming out later this week. And guys, I've got a big announcement. If you made it to the end of the video, you get to know that a PC is on its way to me for a giveaway. That's right. None of that stuff where the company that's making it, building it, has the PC and then shuts down and it doesn't get sent out and I have to buy a whole other PC to give to that winner. Stay tuned. I'm going to get this thing, part of the review. It's going to be giving it away, which I love to do. I love to do that. I'm so excited. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the review on the Centurion and check out the stream tonight. I'm very tired. I'm probably going to be late tonight to stream because I'm going to be waking up late to do the final edits on the video to get it up there. So I might be doing a premiere. I did a premiere on the Thursday video. It was a lot of fun. I want more people to show up for those so it's more pandemonium. And I'm probably going to try to premiere even this video, even if I only have 30 minutes to do it. That way I can kind of sit down with you guys and watch it for the first time. It was fun. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. And I'll see you guys tonight in the stream. Or I'll see you later on this week for the video review for the Centurion. More review stuff coming up. I have stacks of reviews coming out. And I just really want to chill out on stream. If you haven't seen the new setup, you got to see the new setup. So I'll see you guys then. And until then, please take care.